Greetings to one and all. Myself Kishore, IoT engineer R&D team from Minion Labs. So this is our ninth episode of this webinar that is on energy efficiency, which will happen as usual every Fridays. That is at the same timings 4:30 to 5:30, presented by Minion Labs, along with its academic partner IC of Christ University. Today's webinar will be recorded and made available on YouTube and also Minion Labs website in a week, and the documented copies will be available immediately as soon as this today's session. Energy efficiency, episode 9. Now let's take some time and recall what are the topics that we covered in the previous episode, so that it will be a continuation to this episode. That is benefits of Industry 4.0. It's a part 2 of the 4.0. You can go back in the YouTube channel and then you can check the part 1 as well. So what are the benefits of Industry 4.0? So the essential goal of Industry 4.0 is to make the manufacturing and related industrial things such as logistics, to make it faster, more efficient, or more customer centric, while at the same time going beyond automation and optimization and detect new business opportunities and models. So optimization and automation are very important to enhance the productivity, right? So like saving costs, increase profitability, reducing waste, automating to prevent errors and delays, speeding up the production to work more in real time, and in function of overall value chain. Uh, for this, one of the main factor is real-time data. Real-time data for a real-time supply chain in a real-time economy. So Industry 4.0 is about the entire life cycle of products and manufacturing. Obviously, it does not stand on its own. If you look at the center value chain and ecosystem within which the manufacturer is operating, will decide about the stakeholders are involved. So these are all the customers only. So higher business continuity to advance and maintenance and monitor the possibilities. So as and when the features and then economy increases, the business gradually rises up. So which is the key industrial asset again, such as industrial to get the into more automation, like industrial robots in a car manufacturing plant, to make the supply chain or the production very fast and effective. So this affects the productivity, costing loads of money, and then many such factors. So if something like something not maintained in this aspect, so obviously there will be unhappiness in the customer side, and also a production will get disrupted. So it's like overall business quality will gonna be closed. One second. So better quality products like real-time monitoring, IoT-enabled quality improvement, and cobots. So these are all the widely used in Industry 4.0. And better working condition and sustainability. So there should be always when you increase in the tech, when you like grow up in the technology side, also you have to see in terms of the sustainability. So improving working condition based on real-time temperature, humidity, and other data which affects the where plant or warehouse. Quick detection and enhanced protection in this case of any incidents or accidents, detection of presence of harmful gases or radiation, so forth. So better communication and collaboration possibilities, a focus of like personalized, like cleaning air or cleaning any unwanted gases or something. So something which is very harmful to the nature and also our power plants. So personalization and customization. So this is one of the key factor in the Industry 4.0 again, because now and like so like for further the people wanted, the actual customer or stakeholders wanted the more product to be more customized in their own way. So you have to bring up the customization into the picture. So people have also become more demanding among others, with regards to fast response and timely information about these deliveries. Uh, Coming to the next, it's about like as and when the development of innovative capabilities, the new revenue models will come up. So Industry 4.0 strategy and implementation. So what are all the basic strategies that we have to overcome from the physical to the like next level? That is digital transformation. So although being academically looking upon dis, looking upon the numerous digital transformation from the physical side, the universal and the clear side of the industrial wide will approach, and also a business aspect will increase automatically. So one of the main backbone of these systems is cyber physical system, that is CPS. So the building block of Industry 4.0 it is. These are all the combination of intelligent physical components, objects, and systems with embedded computing and storage possibilities, which get connected through networks or enables of the smart factory concept of Industry 4.0. That is industrial Internet of Things, data, and then service scope. Like which is like the business's main focus in that part. So what are the key characteristics of CPS? That is cyber physical systems. So one thing is it's the coming like next evolution in the industry part. Second, it needed the communication in highest level, like security and other aspects. CPS can be uniquely identified. CPS have controllers, sensors, and actuators in the physical side. So CPS are the basic building blocks that we already have seen, and then enable of the additional capabilities to our existing Industry 4.0. So the capability which are possibly like thanks to CPS again enable the smart factories. So Industry 4.0, one of the major again it's the second major thing, that is industrial Internet of Things. The presence of an IP address by definition means the CPS as objects are connected to the internet, that is IoT, Internet of Things. An IP address also means that the CPS can be uniquely identified within the network. The key characteristics of industrial IoT as well, like it's improved a lot. So it raises the CPS and then IIoT rises to something called smart factories, smart plants, and smart applications. So what are the design principles of Industry 4.0? So there are some 5 to 6 factors which affect these designs are interoperability, information transparency, decentralization, real-time capability, technical assistance and service orientation, and modularity. So, so we have seen till the industrial level. Now we'll see what are all the smart cities in the today's session. Like what is smart city, and we'll try to understand about like how to implement smart city, like how to start the smart city, how the smart city works, and much more. Smart city. A smart city is a municipality that uses information and communication technologies, that is ICT, to increase operational efficiency, share information with the public, and improve both the quality of government services and the citizen welfare. So it's just taking what all the challenges and problems in a single time, and then like discussion is taken on that to resolve all these problems, like both government side and also the citizen side. So while the exact definition varies, the overarching mission of the smart city is to optimize city function and drive economic growth while improving quality of the life for its citizens using smart technology and data analysis. So value is given to smart city based on the like choose to which is the technology, not just how much technology they may have. So it depends. For every application, the set of technologies will be like changed. So here you can see like what are all the application came out of the smart city. That is technologies like Internet of Things, and then open data, and like much more like AI, ML, and then applications like traffic management, public safety, gas and light detection, gas and water leak detection, smart energy, water quality, smart parking, electric vehicle charging and its schedulements, waste management systems, smart street lights, smart homes, smart buildings, electromagnetic emissions, and much more. So what are all the characteristics of smart city? So majorly there are five. So these are a technology-based infrastructure, environmental initiatives, a high-functioning public transportation system, confident sense of urban planning, and human to live and work within the cities and utilize the resource as max. So a smart city's success depends on its ability to form a strong relationship between the government, including the bureaucracy and regulation, and the private sectors as well, both from the government and the private sectors within a form of regulations. The relationship is necessary because most of the work that is done to create and maintain digital, data-driven environmental occurs outside the government. So surveillance equipments for busy streets could include sensors from one company, that is camera from other company, a server from yet another. So it's like bringing all the businesses together. So additionally, independent contractors may be hired to analyze these data which have collected, which is then reported back to the city government. So this data could then lead to incorporation of an application development team that is hired to come up with a solution for the problems what are all they found with the analyzed data. So this company could become part of the system if the solution requires regular updating and management. So therefore, smart cities success become more focused on building positive relationships than completing a single project. So it's not only completing a single project, it's building a positive relationships between many different sectors at a single point. Smart city technology. So what are all the technologies that is in the smart city? Smart city uses combinations of IoT devices, software solutions, user interfaces, and communication networks. So these are all the main categorized of the technologies. However, they rely first and foremost on the IoT. So where the like physical data you get. The IoT is a network of connected devices such as vehicles, sensors, or home appliances that can communicate and exchange data. Data collected and delivered by the IoT sensors and the devices is stored in the clouds or on a servers or on servers. So the connection of these devices and use of data analytics facilitates the convergence of the physical and digital city elements, thus improving both public and private sectors efficiency, enabling economic benefits and improving citizens' life. So the IoT devices sometimes have processing capabilities called edge computing. So instead of sending the data to the cloud and then do some cloud computing there is some concept called edge computing, where all the data is processed in the edge side and give direct insights to the cloud, where the government or private sectors can see it. So edge computing ensures that only the most important and relevant information is communicated over the communication network. So instead of sending the raw data all the time, so sending the data what is required is more efficient. So a firewall security system is also necessary for protection, monitoring, and control of a network traffic within a computing system. So firewalls ensure that the data consultant, like someone who handling the data being transmitted within a city, so it should be secured and prevented by any third party hackers or malfeasance. So this unauthorized access to internet security or city data will be maintained properly. So what are all the other technologies after IoT that comes into picture? One is APIs. APIs is the main thing where the actual data is pushed and then seen by the user or customers. It's application programming interfaces. So along with that, AI, artificial intelligence, where all the insights instead of giving manually, so after like trained a model and then made it automated, like it'll like learn its own, like unsupervised learning, and then give the insights what to do, what not to do. Then cloud computing, dashboards. Dashboards is one of the UI UX side, that is comes to the user interface and user experience side. So all the data can be visualized. These machine learning, machine to machine communication, and mesh networks. So mesh networks is one of the main thing again, because a city can be in a wide range, but from one end to one end of the city, and then other end of the city, communication is impossible. It will be over kilometers. So a mesh networks, what it do is it will find the nearest node and then pass the information to the like next nearest nodes, and then pass it to the end of the line. So features of smart city. So there are major four features, that is city management, smart traffic management, energy conservation, smart city initiatives like environmental concerns. Emerging trends such as automation, machine learning, and the IoT are driven smart city adoption. Theoretically, any area of city management can be incorporated into a smart city initiative. A classic example is the smart parking meter. So before they were collecting by what? Like they used to give on slips and then collecting the money or fares of the parking systems, and then don't know which parking space has been filled or not. So now it's smart parking meters. So they know how much to pay, and then what is the fare of the like parking prices, and also like allotment is parked or filled or not filled, it's empty. So you can go to the nearest parking place and you can park. So that uses an application to help drivers find availability parking spaces. So without any prolonged circling of crowded city blocks, they can go to the nearest parking area. So the smart meter also enables digital payment. So there's no risk of coming short of coins for the meters, like in a conventional method. Also in the transportation arena, smart traffic management is used to monitor and analyze traffic flows in order to optimize street lights and prevent roadways from becoming too congested based on the time of the day or peak hour schedules. So smart public transit is another like problem of smart cities. Smart transit companies are able to coordinate services and fulfill riders needs in real time. So they'll show the like where exactly the traffic is held, and then where exactly the blocks are happening, so they can reach the destination as soon as possible. After they know, they can take the free route and then they can pass over. So it's just a rider satisfaction, that's user experience again. Energy conservation and efficiency are major focuses of smart city. These use smart sensors, smart street lights, dim smart street lights dim when they aren't cars or like any pedestrians on the roadways. So if no one is there, the sensors detects that none of the objects are there in that particular area. So the smart street lights will dim their light. So it's again energy conservation. Smart grid technology can be used to improve operations and maintenance and planning, to supply power on demand and monitor energy outages. So smart city initiatives also aim to monitor and address environmental concerns such as climate change and air pollution. So waste management and like sanitation can also be improved with the smart technology. Be it using internet connected trash cans, or IoT enabled fleet management systems for waste collection and removal, or using sensors to measure water parameters and guarantee the quality of drinking water at the front end of the system, with proper wastewater removal and drainage at the back end. Smart buildings. So these are all often part of smart city project. So in deeper about the smart buildings and smart home, we'll cover in the next episode. So it's a legacy infrastructure can be retrofitted and new buildings constructed with sensors to not only provide real-time space management and ensure public safety, but also to monitor the structural health of buildings. So sensors can detect wear and tear and notify officials when repair are needed. So citizens can help in this matter, notifying officials a smart city application when repairs are needed in the building or and other public infrastructure such as potholes, etc. So sensors can also be used to detect leaks in water mains and other pipe systems, helping to reduce the cost and improve the efficiency of public workers. So smart city technology also bring efficiencies to urban manufacturing and urban farming, including job creation, energy efficiency, space management, and fresher goods for customers. I mean consumers. So if you see in this smart building, so these are all the technologies, building operational technologies. These are the external information technologies. How smart city works. Smart city utilize this web of connected IoT devices and other technologies to achieve their goals of improving the quality of life and achieving economic growth. It can be categorized into four following steps. Sorry. Sorry. The first and foremost step is collection. This collection of data. Smart sensors throughout the city gather data in real time. Second step is analyze. Data collected by the smart sensors is assessed in order to draw meaningful insights. So the raw data which you get, you might not know what to decide from that data. So analyze data analytics is must needed to get the proper insights on meaningful insights. I mean. So communication, the insights that have been found in the analyzed phase are communicated with the decision makers, that is AI now, through a strong communication networks. So sending these insights to non-official parties are not that good. They can misuse these data. So it's communicated in a big networks, like strong and big networks, saying in terms of privacy and security. Action. So cities uses the insights pulled from the data to create solutions, optimize operations and assist asset management, and improve the quality of life for residents. So sustainability with smart cities. So like we discussed, it's one of the major factors of smart city. Urbanization is expected to increase even more in coming years. The United Nations, the UN reports that around 55% of world's population currently resides in an urban area or city side. This figure is set to rise about 68% throughout the coming decades. So smart city technology will be help cities to sustain growth and improve efficiency for citizen welfare and government efficiency in urban areas in coming years to come. So while cities already present environmental advantages such as smaller geographic footprints that impact fewer ecological systems they also negatively impact the environment with emissions such as their extreme usage of fossil fuels. So the network of smart cities technology could alleviate these detrimental effects. So making the switch to electric public transportation system would not only decrease the fuel emission, but could also pose the advantage of working closely towards the smart electric power infrastructure in order to minimize the impact of charging batteries during peak hours of electric use. Furthermore, the proper coordination like electric vehicles could also be used to regulate the frequency of cities' electric grid when they are not in service. So the number of cars used in cities is also expected to decrease as municipalities become smarter. So autonomous cars or autonomous vehicles will come into all self-driving cars could potentially change the population perspective on the necessity of owning cars. So it is suspected that the adoption of autonomous vehicles will reduce the amount of vehicles owned by civilians thus decreasing the number of cars on the street and further lowering the emission of decrement like harmful gases. Smart city challenges and its concerns. Smart city initiatives must include the people that they aims to help residents, business people, and visitors. Leaders must not only raise awareness of the benefits of smart city technology being implemented, but also promote the use of open, democratized data to its citizens, like to know what all they're doing. So people should know, right? What are all the government is doing. So if people know what they are participating in, the benefits it can bring, they are more likely to engage. Even people might get interest and then follow these acts. So collaboration between the public and private sectors and the city residents is the key to creating the smart citizen who will be engaging and empowered to positively contribute to the city and community. So smart city projects should include plans to make the data transparent and available to the citizens, often through the open data portal or mobile app. So it should be a common portal somewhere where all the people, all the government in a single call, like single phase, to follow all these smart city plans and steps. So this enables residents to engage with the data and understand what it is used for. So through a smart city app, residents may also be able to complete their personal chores, such as viewing their home's energy consumption, paying bills, finding efficient public transportation, and much more. So smart city opponents worry that city managers will not keep data privacy and security top of the mind. So fearing the exposure of the data that citizens produce on the daily basis to the risk of hacking or misuse, like I said before. So additionally, the presence of sensors and cameras may be precised as an invention of privacy of government surveillance. So to address this, smart city data collected should be like more secured and then its personal identifications. So and one of the major challenges in that is connectivity issues. The biggest challenge smart city faces is the problem of connectivity. So the thousands or millions of the IoT devices scattered across the city would be like much like without with like is waste without a solid connection, and the smart city itself would be dead. So without connection and communication, the smart city is zero. So furthermore, public transit, traffic management, public safety, water and waste management, electricity and natural gas supply can be unreliable, especially as the system ages and grows. So however, the importance of these operations will only increase as the city expands and demands on its infrastructure increase. So these systems must be constantly maintained and tested to ensure their proper functioning. Smart cities are also challenged by finding ways to attract and keep the residents without a cultural fabric, right? So the cultural essence of an area is oftentimes when attracts residents the most. So this is something that cannot be programmed or controlled with a sensor. So therefore, smart cities may falter because they cannot provide a sense of authenticity or deceptiveness or place. So additionally, smart cities that are being created from the ground up, like for example, Saudi Arabia's Neom or Arizona's Buckeye, which are being built in the desert, lack an established population and therefore presented with the obstacle of having a recruit residents. So they have built smart cities where the people are very less, but it didn't work out very well. They are recruiting residents now. So these future smart cities also have no past success to provide confidence. So as Neom and Buckeye has been built, concerns have risen over whether or not there is even a sustainable water source available there. Excuse me. So why we need smart cities? So without that, we are leaving now, and we will be leaving. So why exactly we need smart cities? The primary goal of smart city is to create an urban environment that yields a high quality of life to its residents while also generating overall economic growth, right? So therefore, a major advantage of smart cities is their ability to facilitate an increased delivery of services to citizens with less infrastructure and cost. As the population within cities continuously grow, it becomes necessary for these urban areas to accommodate the increasing population by making more efficient use of their infrastructure and assets. Smart city applications can enable these improvements, advance cities operation, and improve the quality of life among these residents. So smart city applications enable cities to find and create new value from their existing infrastructure. So the improvement facilitate new revenue streams and operational efficiency, help governments and citizens to save money a lot. So we'll see the real time examples or scenarios of smart cities. While many smart cities across the world have started implementing smart cities technologies, a few stand out as the further like forest ahead in development. So these cities include Kansas City, San Diego, Columbus, New York City, Toronto, Singapore, Austria, Barcelona, Tokyo, Iceland, London, Melbourne, Dubai, Hong Kong. So most of the new smart city projects are concentrated in the Middle East only and China. But in 2018, Toronto is listed alongside of Tokyo and Singapore as some of the world's smartest cities. Often considered the gold standard of smart cities, the city state of Singapore uses sensors and IoT-enabled cameras to monitor the cleanliness of public spaces, crowd density, and the movement of locally registered vehicles. So it's smart technologies helps companies and residents monitor the energy use, waste production, and water use in real time. Singapore is also testing autonomous vehicles, including full-scale robotic buses that is driverless, as well as an elderly monitoring system to ensure the health and well-being of senior citizens. So the smart city initiatives of Kansas City involves involves smart streetlights, interactive kiosks, and more than 50 blocks of free public Wi-Fi along the city's 2 miles like streetcar routes. So San Diego installed 3,200 smart sensors in early 2017 itself to optimize traffic and parking and enhance public safety, and also environmental awareness, overall livability for its residents. Solar to electrical charging stations are available to empower electric vehicle use, and connected cameras help monitor traffic and pinpoint crime. In Dubai, that is UAE, United States of Emirates, United Arab Emirates, UAE, smart city technology is used for traffic routing, parking, infrastructure planning, and transportation. This city also uses telemedicine and smart healthcare, as well as smart buildings, smart utilities, smart education, and smart tourism. So the Barcelona on the other side, Spain, uh, smart transportation system and smart bus systems are complemented by smart bus stops that provided free Wi-Fi, USB charging stations, and bus schedules updates for riders in a real time. A bike sharing program and smart parking app that includes online payment options are also available. So the city also uses sensor to monitor temperature, pollution, noise, as well as monitor humidity and rain levels. So history of smart city. Like industry revolutions, there is smart city. It's not revolution, it's a levels of smart city. The concept of smart city can be tracked back to 1960s and 1970s, four decades back, 4 decades back, when the Community Analysis Bureau starts using computer databases, cluster analysis, and infrared aerial photography to collect data, issue reports, and direct resources to area that need them most for fighting of like potential disasters and reducing poverty. So smart city 1.0 was led by technology providers. So initially it was led by only technology providers. This generation focused on implementing technologies in cities despite the municipalities' inability to fully understand the possible implementations of technology or the effects it may have on daily life. So it was driven by technology providers like way back. So in contrast to that, Smart City 2.0, the next step was led by the cities, that is government. In the second generation, forward-thinking leaders within the municipality help to determine the future of the city and how smart technology and other innovation could be deployed to create this future. The third generation, that is Smart City 3.0. Neither the technology providers nor the city leaders take control. Instead, a citizen co-creation model is embraced. So this most recent adaptation seems to be inspired by issue of equity and desires to create a smart community with social inclusions. So like that, Vienna in Australia is one of the first cities to adopt this new third generation model. So Canada has also adapted this Smart City 3.0 model by involving 30,000 of its citizens into this co-creation of Greener City 2020 action plan. Smart street lights. A smart street light is a public lighting fixture that incorporates technologies such as cameras, light sensing, photo cells, and other sensors to introduce real-time monitoring functionalities, also referred as adaptive lighting or intelligent street lighting. This type of lighting system is recognized as a significant step in development of smart cities because these cities, all over the cities, there will be like there is widespread of street lights. What if we make that smart? So street lights is one of the major uh, appliances, I can say, which is like consuming more electricity. What if the street light is smart enough? So when people are not there or when in non-set hours it goes off automatically, the energy consumption can be reduced. It's also a factor of energy conservation. So in addition to enabling cities to provide the proper amount of street light for local conditions, installing intelligent lighting with help to improve citizen satisfaction regarding security and safety, while bringing municipalities significant savings in power consumptions and lighting system maintenance. So plus outdoor lighting infrastructure will serve as a backbone for a number of Internet of Things applications, such as monitoring weather, pollution, and traffic. So it comes under IEO, that is Internet of Everything. As municipalities make the transition from traditional lightnings to the light emitting diodes, that is LEDs, about 20% of the technology can be considered smart due to integration of these light control systems. According to ABI research, it says like if you install LEDs, it's almost 20% of this technology can be considered as smart. However, ABI forecasted that by 2026, central management systems will connect to more than two-thirds of like LED streetlights all over the place. Excuse me. How smart streetlights work. The technology behind Smart streetlights can vary depending on its features and requirements, but typically it involves a combination of cameras and sensors. When implemented on a standard streetlights, these devices can detect movement that enables dynamic lighting and dimming. So it also allows neighboring fixtures to communicate with each other. If a pedestrian or a car is detected, all surrounding lights will brighten up until the movement no longer is captured. So when nothing is there in that particular area, the street lights will dim automatically. So additional capabilities of smart street lights may require more technology, such as image sensors, semic sensors, sound sensors, speakers, weather and water detection sensors, and wireless transmitters. So it will give all the weather factors of that particular area. So after smart street lights are installed, most vendor offer software that can help cities to monitor and manage this technology. This software can also be used to gather any data collected by streetlights and adjust its features such as dimming time. So this is the typical like features that is included in the smart light. Features of smart street lights. While the features of streetlights depends on the specific technology used by city planners, example of common functionality include these followings. One is dynamic lighting controls based on movement detection. Like we already seen, like if no one is there in the particular region, the light will automatically get dim and say energy is saved. Environmental and weather monitoring. So for that particular area or like for the particular street, so this street light can be like add-on module sensors which gives all these weather conditioning there. So digital signage that can update as needed, such as parking regulations or accidents alerts. Parking management, such as alerting officials of illegally parked vehicles or driven off open spaces. So even now the illegal parked vehicles are manually captured. So this give insights where the vehicles is parked in non-parking areas. Extended cellular and wireless communication. So traffic management through real-time data feeds the truck congestion and speed. Automatic emergency response in the event of car crash or crime. Benefits of smart streetlights. Implementing streetlight systems offer the following. These are all the following advantages: reduce energy cost and usage with flexible dimming controls. Increase pedestrian satisfaction through improved safety measures. Lowered repair and maintenance costs will be monitoring software. With the monitoring software, reduce carbon emission and light pollution. Increased lamp life or shorter response time to outages. Improve architectural planning based on real traffic patterns and insights. Increase revenue opportunities such as leasing poles of digital signage or other services. So like advantage, there are disadvantages of the smart street lights as well. The initial investment is very large. So there are multiple applications and technology platforms. So choosing the right ones can be very challenging again. So the lack of consumer knowledge surrounded the features and benefits of smart streetlights. Implementing smart streetlights requires compliance with federal and utility regulation. These are all the uh, maybe small disadvantages or drawbacks installing the smart streetlights. Examples of smart streetlights. Cities investing in smart streetlights are sorry Sorry for that. So cities investing in smart street lights are chalking up gains, while Los Angeles received a revenue boost from the smart poles, which offer long-term evolution, that is LTE reception and save energy. Chicago could save $10 million a year in energy costs thanks for four-year initiative to replace 270,000 city lamps with LEDs and intelligent controls. Additionally, cities in Spain have invested the green street lighting with the development of wind power yellow green turbine lamp poles. So which also which generates electricity and then lights up. In San Diego, sensor lantern smart streetlights have been installed to help direct drivers to vacant parking spaces and alert the traffic enforcement officers to illegally parked cars. So software developers are creating apps using using these data gathered by the street light Internet of Things network. Emerging apps includes one of the most identified, the like quiet walking route, digital cat. So using the traffic and location data to help visually impaired people cross the street. So by knowing the traffic and then density there, it for blind people it's easy to like carry the tap and then they can like cross the streets. How to make smart street lights smart? So there are major of four components, that is fixture. The entire light fixture is replaced. We are not just changing out the only lamp, the complete fixture is changed. That's because LED has slightly different componentry. So second, control. There is a control what we call network lighting controllers, NLC. So the new fixture with NLC can now monitor usage such as power consumption and voltage, as well as identify failure or alarm condition and communicate them across the network. There is also a network. Again, like I said, also to there should be some trans receivers so that the information is passed throughout. The fourth is software for command and control and data collection. So to make some actions, if not manually, there should be some software which can like virtual buttons or virtual switches which can automate or which can do like retrained or things like automations, etc. by itself. So battery-based sensors are typically smaller footprint and need to be deployed in areas that don't have power. So think of water sensor to monitor the water level in a rain gully or a sewer line. So there is no electricity line is passed, right? So instead of that, we can go with battery-based sensors. You're not typically going to have power in those areas, and it wouldn't work to have a cellular connection going to that battery-based device, because one of the most important metrics of that battery-based sensors is how the battery lasts. So who uses smart city data and how? So one is the city or utility itself. The crew is responsible for maintaining the lightning infrastructure. That's the primary audience for data around alerts and failures. Similarly, traffic departments look at the data to make decisions around road closures or road expansions. So there are different categories. Likewise, the different departments are included and used to resolve the problems. So other audience we have seen popping up in is analysts and consultants that offer software that can ingest this data and can give meaningful insights. There are algorithms that help customers make decisions, as opposed to have cities to initiated with data sets. So then there's the concept of open data. A customer in the UK, for example, was very much engaged with the city and then local university. Any data that was coming in of the network was put into an open data platform to enable innovation in the city, making the data available to the developers, for example, to take and maybe build the next traffic management software or app. Or it's given that sample data which is given to develop something new, looking as it is in the different way that other have traditionally looked at it. What are the applications of smart street light? There are mainly four domains, that is traffic management, sustainable infrastructure, safety and security, digital services. Smart street lights into a smart city. So how much these smart street lights penetrated into a smart city? Of the penetration of LED infrastructure in US right now is somewhere around the 10% to 15%, and of that there's probably only about 3 to 4% that they have enabled controls. A report shows that market of LED upgrades between now and 2027 are getting to the 90% to 95% saturation level. So the market is moving in that direction. So we see similar timeline to enable smart city solutions again. So the economics of going back to every streetlight pole to add the networking or control fall apart. If you have go back to every streetlight, if cities are going to change to LEDs, take that opportunity to add controls as well. Conclusion. So the smart city agenda entails improving the citizen quality of life, strengthening and diversifying the economy while prioritizing environmental sustainability through adoption of smart solutions. So smart city, like directly or indirectly, is benefits to the citizens as well. It's time for Q and A. If you people have any questions, you can put it on chat box. Okay. Anyway, we'll be available to answer your questions in mailbox as well. You can put it over the mailbox. Thank you for joining and being here for this episode today. I think I have tried to explain all the concepts about the smart city, what are all the users, who uses that, how the technologies are implemented there, and much more. So maybe in the next session, that is on Friday, April 16, Friday again, 4:30 to 5:30. We'll discuss something into smart buildings and smart home. Thank you.